Today, for the very first time, we're going to be checking out the brand new AFI album. Neither of us are very familiar with this band, though I know they've changed quite a bit. This is a title I forgot. Whoops. Oh man, this is a terrible intro. Silver Bleeds the Black Sun. Hello everybody and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. This is the first thing we've recorded in a while. I think this is the first video we've recorded since the Halloween video, right, Cody?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was such an enormous disappointment. It wasn't that disappointing.
Yeah, it ended up all right.
So yeah, the Halloween video didn't exactly go as I planned it, but it ended up being okay. People who are watching this, if you're familiar with the channel, if you've seen that video, we are working on trying to make it so that we can all four be in a video and have it be better. So we can all see each other and it just works a little bit better tech-wise. So we'll get there. But if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. We have the way we basically do things here on the channel is we listen to an album from front to back. And when I'm doing a reaction with someone here, like I'm doing with my cousin Cody, no relation, we generally listen to a song, pause, talk about what we're hearing, but we also do talk over the music. So prepare yourself, gird your loins to have us talk over the music a little bit. Sometimes people find it quite shocking, but it's how we do things here. We generally focus on production things and kind of what we're hearing. We don't generally focus on lyrics. So I know a lot of people who enjoy AFI, they do enjoy their lyrics, or at least they did back in the day. So don't expect us to be breaking down any lyrics unless we hear something that is crazy or that we're like, you know, what's going on. Generally, when we do listen to albums that have the lyrics available on Spotify, we're going to be using Spotify. Cody generally is the guy that has those up and maybe will comment on them as he's listening. I generally tend to focus on production stuff. So we'll just see what happens as we're listening to this. I asked you a little bit before we started the reaction, Cody, but you are not familiar with AFI, I don't think, right? You've heard of their name?
No, I recognize that Miss Murder song you were singing.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay, because I was going to have us listen to that. But since you know the song, then we won't do that.
I don't think I know any of the other popular ones on here.
I literally don't know any of their other songs either.
Okay.
So yes, let's go ahead and just, since that was my plan, let's go ahead and just listen. I'm just going to go to AFI's page. Okay. You can see their most played song is Miss Murder, and it has 354 million plays. Uh-huh. Which is a lot. Their next most played song, at least according to Spotify here, is called Girls Not Grey, and it's 78 million songs, which is still a lot, but nothing compared to 354 million. Yeah. And I do not believe that I've heard any other AFI song. If I did, it would have been off of their very famous album. If you look at their albums real quick, Cody, their album Decemberunderground from 2006 with the three bunnies kind of circling their AFI logo.
Yeah.
That was their humongous album. That was their like big breakout album. And they have that's Miss Murder's on there. And then also 37 million is the intro to the album called Prelude 1221, which is actually really interesting because the music video for the song Miss Murder, do you recall ever seeing the music video, Cody?
Nope.
Okay, the music video starts with the song Prelude 1221, and I actually personally love that song. It's just the intro to the album, but it's there's vocals in it, and it's this cool, like there's a neat drum beat in it and everything. It's kind of building to song 2, but for the music video for Miss Murder, they cut out song 2 and went right from the end of Prelude 1221 into Miss Murder. And the Miss Murder music video was very famous, and it was all over the place. But I'm assuming because that's the way that they did it, that's why the prelude to the album, the intro to the album, has so many more plays than the rest of the songs on the album. It has 37 million plays, and it's just a minute-long intro song. So
yeah.
Before we do that, though, I just want to welcome everybody again and say that we're here to have fun. I want to open my drink. That's the main thing. We do that in the intro here, so I'm going to do that. And I have today we bought $2 Primes, Cody, that were on sale at Walmart because I enjoy Prime and the way it tastes and stuff generally, but my favorite is Glowberry, which is the Halloween flavor they released last year. That's my favorite prime flavor. And this year they released a different Halloween flavor called the Nightmare, and it's like sponsored by KSI, who I know is a YouTuber, and that's basically all I know about him. He's a very famous person, like Logan Paul type of kind of YouTuber. I've seen him on wrestling. He's taken some gnarly bumps on wrestling. And I don't know if he's a buddy of Logan's or it's just the fact that they're both super famous YouTubers that they got involved together on wrestling. But I've tried this in another video before, but I thought, man, what a cool thing. It's like purple pink. It matches the purple pink aesthetic. I've got my purple pink lights behind me. So I thought, whatever. So I want to open this. And then there was something else I was going to say at the intro of the video. I can't remember. Shoot. It was something I was just going to say. But anyway, it doesn't matter if I can't remember. We want to do this reaction a little differently, everybody watching. We want to get into the music pretty much right away. So let's go ahead and give maybe the first minute or so of this song a listen. You can see what they sounded like back then.
Miss Murder? Or...
Yeah, we're going to do Miss Murder.
Okay.
And if the song gets... I may just cut this out of the video, but I think for you specifically, Cody, this is for you, not the people watching the video. I think it'd be fun. And if you remember the song a little bit, you'll remember it. But I think from what I've read about this new album, and I listened to the first little bit of the first song, it sounds completely different than this. And that was why one of the reasons I asked you to... be on this video with me, because I think you and I are both going to actually end up liking this new album a lot. Oh, okay. And I think it's very different. So let's go ahead and listen to like maybe the first minute or so of Miss Murder.
Okay.
This is Miss Murder in 3, 2, 1. I actually love this song. I'm not a fan of AFI as a band.
I thought you didn't
but
know
I always love this song. This is like prime emo real estate.
Yeah, it's the sort of pop punk stuff.
Yeah.
And I was assuming that maybe this new album was kind of the same stuff, because if you listen to indie radio right now, this style is way back.
Oh, I like that personally.
Yeah.
I don't ever listen to indie radio, so that's good to hear. And the thing is, like, the AFI had way heavier songs than this, so they were kind of screamo-y a little bit, like Atreyu and other bands that were popular at the time. But this is kind of more of like a Good Charlotte-y type of song.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Okay, so you remember this.
Yes.
That's enough. We'll pause it. Okay. Now, I want us to do something even crazier. Okay, so you see their album. If you scroll down, I'm not sure where you're at exactly, but go to their albums. Mm-hmm. And then they have an album with like a graveyard cartoon thing on the front. It's called The Art of Drowning.
Yep.
Okay, I've never listened to this, but well, hold on. Let me just listen to a sample of this. Okay, so go to their third album is called And Open Your Eyes, or Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes. Okay, we're gonna listen to a bit of track 2. Okay. It's called 3 Reasons. Ready? Mm-hmm. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's enough of that. That's not my favorite. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. And then, just because we're doing this now, I feel like people who are fans of the band would get mad at me if we didn't do this. Okay, so the singer from AFI, whose name I believe, if I remember correctly, is Davey Havok. So Cody, go to Google and just type in Davey Havok. Yes. Now, look at the first picture that comes up.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well,
I'll click on images.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
on images.
Well, see, I was on the all. Go back to the all tab.
Okay.
And the first picture should be him with like a crazy like comb over thing with long hair and blue eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's him during the Miss Murder era. Now look at the next photo with the like afro and the mustache and the long black back hair, right?
Very cool. Very cool.
That's him now on this album. And as far as I understand, it's been quite a while since they released an album.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're not going to listen to this.
This is like when I saw pictures of Fred Durst recently.
Right. Well, and actually it's so funny too, because I literally just went back and edited our Birthday Massacre video where I was showing you who Birthday Massacre was, and you were talking about how much you like hate goth aesthetic, basically.
Yeah.
Now, from the eyeshadow in this picture here, you might not necessarily be able to tell, but they were like goth all the way. Like they were like the Birthday Massacre, like gothy. You can just look up
what I thought. That was my impression of them.
And
That's
you can
fun.
just type in like AFI in the Google Images and just like scroll through, and you can see that the ones where he has long hair, that's kind of like where they were like pretty popular.
Okay.
And then we're not going to listen to this, but I will say, and I've known of this, but I've never listened to it before. The singer from AFI has another band called Black Audio.
Okay.
It's BLAQK Audio, and it is like Depeche Mode style electronic music.
Cool.
And yes, and I've never listened to it. Don't ask me why. Probably because I don't care for this dude that much. But I think if I listened to this, I would love it. So anybody who ends up watching this video, if anybody ever does, let me know if we should check out the Black Audio albums, because they have a bunch of them. It looks like I probably would enjoy this a lot based on the music that I love. And they have a lot of music, it looks like. So I wanted to just mention that. But now I want to go back to AFI here. So I want to check when their album before this new one came out. So it looks like they had an album called Bodies in 2021, and that might be their last album, it looks like, before this new one that we're going to listen to.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be before that. I thought their most recent album before this one was even older than that, but 2021 is still 4 years ago. And I have no idea what that album sounds like. I have no clue. But it doesn't matter. We're here to listen to the new one. And from what I gather, and the little bit that I listened to the first track, and I heard like a bit of interviews with them, because it was like a big deal when they came back a couple of like a month and a half ago, Cody. And I saw pictures of the guy all over Facebook. And just my
so it was shocking to everyone. Huh?
Yeah, there were people who were like, what the heck? And then I was listening to, they did like a big like hour-long interview of him, and I saw clips of it, and he was talking about kind of some of these weird like opinions he has of things and stuff, and it was kind of just interesting and different. And then they were talking about the music, and basically this new album is very new wave goth sort of we'll have to listen to it and then see what you compare it to. I don't really have a lot of stuff I can compare it to, but I think it's going to be very interesting, and I'm hoping that
if I think of Gothic New Wave, I think of like Joy Division or something.
Or Sisters of Mercy, maybe.
See, I don't know them.
But Joy Wave, I guess. See, Joy Wave, we need to do that Joy Wave album. They're like, or not Joy Wave.
Joy Division.
Joy Division. Yeah. We need to do that Joy Division album, because I've literally never heard it. And I think that I would enjoy it. Plus, that's just like a classic album. Mm-hmm. Before we listen to the music, I have one thing I want to show everybody, and I'm so glad I remembered this. I do have a copy of December Underground on CD that I bought over the years. For those of you who are unaware, I have a collection of over 4,500 CD, or no, not 3,500. Well, it's probably over 4,000 now. 4,000 CDs that I have, and I couldn't find it before we started recording this. So that tells you how much I care about it. I don't know where it's at. I know where all my CDs are, except for the like ones that I bought for like a nickel over the years at like Goodwills or garage sales. So this is it somewhere either downstairs or upstairs where I have my like garage sale CDs. And I know I wouldn't put it in like a crappy stack of CDs. So I have a vague idea of where it would be, and I was looking for it, but I just didn't want to waste time. I would rather come down and get the awesome picture of these guys under us in the video here. But I do have one thing, and I'm so glad that I remembered that I owned this. So this is my AFI picture record.
Oh, hell yeah.
From one of their very early punk albums.
Wow.
I do not know if there is a label on here, but I've looked this up on Discogs, which I refuse to use the app anymore because it's absolute utter garbage trash. But I don't think it's like super like a super rare thing, but it is very but it isn't like super common. But this is
where did you get that?
I got this in North Bend. Remember how we had that thrift, that like old antique shop in North Bend near us here called like Grandpa's Antiques.
Oh, Grandpa's, yeah. No, that place is awesome.
Yes, it was. It was. And I really regret that I didn't start going there until I was like a teenager. Like your dad bought all of his records from there. It was like bought 2,000 records when they closed.
Yeah.
But I got this record there. It was one of the ones that I found there just randomly and picked out one of the times we went there before it closed.
Sweet.
And so this is one of the oldest records that I've owned. And,
so that would have been like mid to late 2000s.
No, yeah. Well, it would have been early 2000s because that closed. Like, I mean, I was in junior high still, so it could have even been 1999, 1998-ish. But I'm going to say probably 2000, 2001 or so. Your dad would remember when he bought the 2,000 records from him. Unfortunately, almost all those records are lost. Yeah, but that's all right. Don't worry. Nobody feel bad. He's got more than that now, I think so.
Okay, so when you do our thumbnail, are you going to Photoshop one of us as a guy with his former hairstyle and one of us with the...
I mean, since you said that, sure, yes, absolutely.
That's the. Here, I don't know which one I want to be.
You got to be the new guy because put your face up. There we go. Okay. I've been literally wanting to do that for over a year. Like every time we film a video, just take a second at the end to like pose however we want to be in the thumbnail. Because man, I hate making thumbnails and timestamps. It's the worst.
Well, I gave you the idea this time. So.
You did. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's let's just listen to this. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun listening to this and talking about it, so why piss around anymore?
Yeah.
Track 1. This album, by the way, there's 10 songs, 34 minutes and 1 second. So a very short album, and we'll just have to see at the end. One of the things I want us to talk about is, do we feel like the album was short, or do we feel like we got enough of what they were giving us?
Okay.
The song lengths aren't that bad. There is one song that's like 2:20:28. Everything else is over 3 minutes, which for such a short album, I'm okay that the songs are at least decent length, over 3 minutes. There's several that are around 3 minutes, but there's a couple that are over 4. So, I'm not super disappointed with that. And it looks like, based on the plays here, track 2, Behind the Clock, is a single that they released before the album came out. Okay. And this album, by the way, was just released on October 3rd. So it's been over a month now, and I've had it on my playlist forever, and I listened to the bit of the first song when it first came out, and like since then I've wanted to do a reaction to this with you, Cody.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is Bird of Prey, track 1. Everybody ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. So, Cody, if you want to, I believe there are lyrics available. You can keep your eye on the lyrics.
Okay.
I think we'll be able to understand it, though.
Yeah. Kind of a David Bowie sound to the vocals.
And the music is weird as hell.
Yeah.
That, like, thing on the drums,
like
that's not
thing.
Stereotypical at all. Yeah. And then a weird acoustic guitar with tons of reverb on it. There's a lot of reverb on everything. It's weird, like, swirling stuff.
It's almost like the instrumentals are getting louder when he's not singing or something. Like it's ducking it or something.
Oh, interesting. That could be a compression thing. I didn't notice that yet. I'll listen to that now. Oh, yeah, I hear what you mean.
No.
I think that's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's not doing it. So this is like very weird.
Yeah, this is not what I was expecting from a pop
this is
punk band.
super weird. Yeah. and I would say I do not like this.
Yeah.
But I did hear a bit of the second song, and that was when I stopped. I didn't hear this full song. I was listening to it on Spotify, and then I like skipped, and I was like, is this how the whole album sounds? And I heard a little bit of the next one. I was like, okay, we got to listen to this.
I think it's cool.
I agree. I do think it's interesting and cool, but I would not put this on to listen to it to enjoy it.
We'll see how it fits into the album. Because
I'm hoping
it's not exactly a single.
Yeah, I'm hoping the rest of the songs are a little bit more straightforward or more approachable.
Oh, I hope it's all weird stuff like this and it all fits together in a really cohesive way.
I mean, that would be awesome, too. I mean, there's kind of like an old West vibe to this a bit, too.
Yeah, kind of.
But there's like a Halloween vibe, too.
Man,
all
those
right,
drums,
we'll pause
I don't know,
it. Yeah.
Those drums were almost like a tribal thing or something. Like it felt like a army was coming, you know?
Yes.
Not like a marching, not like a marching drum, but like a, I don't know. You just see it like in a movie when dudes are running down a hill or something.
Yes. And I can definitely, yes, I see what you mean there. To me, that's interesting. Like, I wasn't really, a lot of the times when I do listen to stuff, maybe for the first time especially, I do have like pictures in my head of like what it kind of makes me think of.
Yeah.
But with that, I was more just, there was so much reverb on it, and it was so strange that I really wasn't thinking about the mental image it was giving me, I guess.
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting that from it.
Yeah.
But because there was just so much like ugly reverb on everything.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, so it was like overwhelmingly like weird. And then once you pointed out the ducking of the music when he was singing, it was also like, it almost seemed like they were surging the instruments. They were playing them like different parts when he stopped singing in between there, and it just maybe it kind of gave that impression too. But yeah, I just kept going back and forth. It's like, okay, vocals now instruments, now vocals, now instruments. Yeah, I think it was a combination of both, and I think there were also some like sound effects and stuff in there too. There was definitely like a swirling thing that came in.
Yeah,
you know, at the beginning of the song, I feel like things kind of came in one by one, which is pretty common to do with songs.
It was the drums and the guitar, and then
and then the acoustic guitar, right? And then But then when the more of the song kicked in, his voice wasn't drowning everything out, and it wasn't pushing everything down anymore. So that tells me that it was an intentional thing they were doing at the beginning. But like, what a strange opening track to an album.
Right? Yeah.
And so when you say sort of soundtracky almost, or, you were saying like military kind of with the drums, like, that just made me think, and I said Old West right before you said that. So then that made me start to think of like cinematic type of like soundtracky thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And then that's why I was thinking about like, oh, what kind of image did that bring to my mind? And I wasn't thinking of it at the time, so it's hard to like retroactively.
I'm thinking like a Native American tribe on horseback running into battle or something like that.
Yeah. So the Old West vibe definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's. I hope the rest of the album is not as I did hear a bit of track 2, but I honestly don't remember what it was. But it was the next song that was really the thing that made me like, I want to listen to this with Cody.
Okay.
And then I hope the rest of the album isn't like so drenched in reverb. I don't remember what the second song was at all, but I'm hoping that it's a little bit more straight, a little bit more approachable, I guess. Than that last song was. But like you said, though, if the whole thing just is a complete like commitment to being odd and weird like that, but even in different ways, then that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is the single from this album, Behind the Clock, in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, way more rock drums.
Yeah.
That's like a really cool, like, gothy new wave voice. Love the deep voice. You're right, it is kind of David Bowie.
Yeah, I'm getting more Bowie vibes.
Which I'm not very familiar with Bowie, but the few things I do know.
You kind of know how he sounds, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very new wave sounding guitar. And the constant bass, that's like, to me, one of the staples of new wave music.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
It's a Bowie voice, but this is not something you would ever hear. The song is not a Bowie song at all.
Yeah. And like, to me, like, since I just don't know any of their other music at all, like they probably have 10 albums out since the last album I heard of theirs. Like,
yeah, maybe they gradually transition to this.
Yeah, maybe they do stuff like this, but from the way people were reacting online, it seemed like it was very different. Which is why I thought it would be fun to listen to, you know?
I mean, I haven't heard that guy's other band, but this seems like maybe more appropriate to that other band's style.
Yeah. This is pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's sweet.
It's still a lot of reverb.
Yeah.
Like, the guitars all have a lot of reverb on them. The drums, not as much. They're a little bit more dry signal. Still very strange, though.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
yeah, but
definitely
more of a fun song.
Yes, yeah, and a definable chorus that was more easily, I mean, at least it was easier to tell it was a chorus, you know? I thought it was catchy, something that maybe I could try to sing along with. At the beginning, his vocals, he was doing that really low, like gothic type of, you know, typo negative almost type of thing. Yeah. It's funny. It made me think of, I wish I had brought it downstairs. I didn't think I was going to reference it, but back, oh gosh, a long time ago, when I was probably in high school, I bought this compilation of, it was 2 discs of Gothic music, like Gothic new wave music. And it was cool. It was like not bands that like anyone really would know. Yeah,
a lot of them were, you know, unless it was a Joy Division, but even there, like, we're not getting radio airplay, so it's like, right, you kind of have to be in the know in the genre to know all those bands. Yeah, and it was a pretty, like, it was something I think years later I remember seeing it at Hastings a lot and telling people, oh, you should get this, it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But like the cool thing about it was the discs were separated into like 8 like pre-90s stuff. So like stuff from like the 70s all through the 80s, and then from the 90s through to like 2000, the early 2000s, which is probably when it came out. And I remember really enjoying the earlier stuff a lot. And it's very Halloween-y. It's called like the Batcave Anthology. I should look it up. I'm pretty sure it's
I'm pretty sure it's Batcave Anthology. Yes, this is Gothic. This is Gothic. The Batcave Anthology. It's on Cleopatra Records. It says, yeah, awesome. You can still buy it now from Cleopatra Records for $16. But let's look at some of the artists.
See if I know any of these.
Alien Sex Fiend. Now I'm feeling zombified. Virgin Prunes. Gene Loves Jezebel. Southern Death Cult. Christian Death. Flesh for Lulu. Executive Slacks, Screams for Tina, Skeletal Family, Sex Beat, 45 Grave. I mean, this is great. The Super Heroines. And then, so that's the first disc. And so it's 80s. That's what it's, okay. So it's just the 80s. And then 90s and beyond is the second disc. And that's the 69 Eyes, which is, this is the thing that introduced me to the 69 Eyes, which is a band that I do love. And their song Gothic Girl is on there. Okay. And then Switchblade Symphony, which I've heard of, which I'm aware of, even now beyond this. Nosferatu, Big Electric Cat, Children of the Sun, Two Witches, Raised in Black. That's a very famous. Leather Strip, I've heard of that. Incubus Succubus, I believe I have one of their CDs. So again, not stuff that like everybody knows, but I pull this out kind of like around Halloween a lot. I haven't done it for the last few years. But it's very much Halloween-y sounding music to me.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But not Halloween in the like genre of Halloween, like surf rock Halloween music. It's obviously way different than that. But this so that's where my reference for like new wave and like gothic-y new wave comes from. And one thing that to me is a staple of that is drums and bass, and the bass is just like going ham. Like I even think of like Duran Duran did that a lot, where it was just like bass and drums, which I know Duran Duran, I would say they're a new wave band, but they're obviously a pop new wave type of band, I guess.
Yeah, some people maybe would say they're not weird enough or like underground enough to be a new wave thing.
I mean, definitely very mainstream they were. But there are other 80s bands that are sort of like that as well. And they all have this sort of like drums and bass are like the constant thing. And then the guitars are more sort of like filling the space during certain parts of the song. Like I feel like the guitars are like one of the less important parts in like a new wave song. And there's synths and stuff, but it's not like happy sounding plinky synths. It's more like drony stuff. And then maybe like synth pads in the background. And to me, like holding out long guitar chords, you know, like a thick flock of seagulls type of thing.
Sure.
And then maybe some lead guitar stuff, but the bass is always that sort of like driving bass. And it's usually in all the new wave stuff that I'm aware of, it is a real bass guitar playing a bass, which is a little bit different from the pop music of the 80s, where there was a lot of synth-based stuff being done. Yeah. A lot of electronic synth-based music and stuff like Depeche Mode and things like that. And so there's differences there, but to me, new wave specifically is sort of like there's got to be real bass, and it's generally one of the primary featured instruments throughout the whole song, whereas the guitars come and go throughout songs. And not all genres of music are like that, you know. As a person who listens to a lot of metal, very rare to find a metal band whose guitar player will sit out for a verse or something like that.
Sure.
Very rarely happens. So, and I bring all that up because all that I'm just talking about, that happened in the song we just heard. Right? Bass and drums starting the song off, and then he very overly overly affected vocals, and then guitars just doing like stabs and things, and like holding stuff out, and then having like a little lead like part on the side. That was to me that was like the definition of like what I would think of of like sort of gothic-y new wave style of music.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I hope the whole rest of the album is along those lines. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe every song is like completely different. I have no idea. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about that one?
No, I liked it a lot though.
Okay. Awesome. Let's move on to track 3 then. This is Holy Visions in 3, 2, 1. Now this song also has almost 1 million plays.
Yeah.
Drums and bass. By the way, I am not an expert on any of this stuff, so people let me know in the comments. Like, what am I actually talking about? Is there a different word for that genre?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, cool. I really like this a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little birthday massacre in this, which I wasn't expecting. That sounds like a Flock of Seagulls guitar.
Yeah, that guitar sounds more like the Flock of Seagulls than anything we've heard so far.
Yes.
And I like his voice a lot.
Yeah, it's unprocessed. Like, it is not pitch corrected. It is very out of control, like a lot of vocalists in the 80s were.
Yeah.
Sounds like he has a British accent, but he's not. He's from US.
This genre is so heavily British. It's, you know.
Well, we've talked in the past about how all in the 80s, like, all music just sounded like it came from England.
Yeah.
Bands from America would sing with like a British accent. It's kind of hard to tell what he was saying there.
Yeah.
This is way more fun of a song.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
This is some of my favorite stuff that we've listened to in several videos.
Yeah. I knew you would like this. At the moment I was, because you just like weird stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your favorite band is Talking Heads and Devo.
Yeah. Devo.
You know?
And this is kind of a genre that I try to get into, and it's hard. But that's kind of why I want to do that Joy Division video sometime with you.
Yo, yeah, I'm really excited to do that. Yeah. Then we can move even into what's the band they started after that?
New Order.
New Order. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like you don't hear stuff like this that often nowadays, especially from a band that's like really established and well known for other stuff. And again, maybe my ignorance about this band is like maybe they've kind of morphed into this, but to my knowledge, no. And it's really fun. Like AFI is big enough that like that song we just heard could have been on the radio. You know what I mean? Like next to Bruno Mars and Billie Eilish and stuff.
Sure.
And so like I don't know how much it ever was, and I'm sure they could play that on the alternative station you were talking about. Like that could be on there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they would play something like that.
Yeah, and so like maybe that's where it's more kind of existing, but the fact that AFI is as big as they were at one point at least.
So it's just so interesting that the pop punk genre, and I hate to pigeonhole AFI into this genre because I've only heard one song of theirs.
Right.
But like, I just looked up, like, Blink-182 came out with a new album in the last year. Good Charlotte put out their first album in a long time.
Sum 41.
All American Rejects put out their first album in 14 years this year. Or next year they're coming out with it.
I was gonna say, I'll have to look into that. I used to like All American Rejects.
Yeah, and it's like I hear this stuff, and half the songs I hear on this alternative station are like old bands that I already know coming out with new stuff, and it sounds just like the 2000 stuff, and half of it is new bands that are just aping that style.
Interesting. Okay.
And so for that genre to come back, and then for AFI to be like, hey, we're back too. and this is what they put out. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. And I do want to, like, I do think and again, this is my not knowing that much, but I do think that Davey Havok, like the singer, like the electronic music that they make is very like crisp, clear, like high fidelity electronic music. So it's not like this at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's I've heard a couple of songs of theirs, and I don't know why I never went back and listened to it, but I'm pretty sure that I would actually love it maybe. So like I said, probably. Let us know in the comments. But like his voice is I don't know if I care for his voice that much, but again, I've only ever heard like 4 of their songs, including the 3 we just listened to now. And so like, I don't know. When I was in high school, we were both in high school, like when AFI was the most popular they ever were, you know? Yeah. And like, when did December Underground come out? Oh, okay. So I would have been in college, but like around, you know, but like,
and I would have been in middle school.
All those other bands.
Sorry, I was in high school too.
Yeah, you would have been in high school. Yeah, but all those other bands you mentioned too, that was like the stuff that I listened to growing up in college, and that was the sort of the rock side of radio. Then there was like the heavier nu metal side, and then there was the pop stuff, and then the rap stuff, and that was all kind of existed on the top of the charts. When you listened to radio, you heard everything on the radio, and I feel like nowadays it's a little bit more curated to specific genre. You know, you don't hear as many rap songs on top 40 radio because they just exist in the rap lane, I guess, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But I know that a lot of rap songs are like in the top like Billboard charts and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily reflect
like top 40. Yeah, top 40 is not. You don't hear a wide disparity between 2 songs in a row, you know?
Right. Whereas when we were growing up and teenagers and stuff, like you could hear a huge variety of stuff in the top 40. I mentioned it every damn video that Korn had songs in like the top 40, and there were a lot of rock bands that had top 40 hits alongside NSYNC and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all that stuff. And then Nelly and 50 Cent and DMX and all that stuff, it existed all together at the same time. And so it is really fun to think about how AFI and bands just like them, the way they used to sound, were so big back in the day. And like I mentioned even too, like Atreyu, and like I know AFI has songs where they scream in the songs.
Oh yeah.
So they definitely did have heavier stuff. So it's really interesting like you said, it's weird that they came out with this, but like I just think it's fun to think about that genre sort of coming back. It makes sense if you think about people our age now being the ones to consume, but like the music we listen to, like the music people our age show their children is probably like All American Rejects and AFI and stuff. So those kids growing up listen to that music the way we listen to stuff from the 70s and the 80s for our parents showing us.
And the people in their 30s are now nostalgic for that style of music, and so they're starting bands and making that style of music too.
Great point.
So yeah, it does make you feel old when you've been through 2 different cycles of
the same genre.
But that is true. It shouldn't be surprising. We know this happens. So
yeah, for sure. And I'm happy about it. I like it.
It's cool. And I like that these bands from 20 years ago are able to come out with a new album, and I don't know that it's hitting top 40, but they're having success, and they're able to tour with these other bands and make it kind of a nostalgia tour, but then they're also putting out new stuff that's getting some airplay, and it's cool.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I think that kind of stuff is great. So yeah, okay, let's go on to the next track. That was my favorite song by far. Okay. It was a little bit more like cleaner, not cleaner, but like drier vocals, and I loved the gang vocal part, the Holy Visions. I loved that part. I thought it was very catchy. That was a really great song. Okay, now we have track 4, Blasphemy and Excess. This is one of the songs with less listens, but I mean average what all the other tracks on the album have, minus the bigger songs. So okay, so we were just interrupted, and so whatever. Track 4, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1.
It's okay, because we didn't say anything during it.
No, I know. I will say for the Black Audio Group, I believe Davey, the singer, makes most of the electronic music like himself. Like it's just him and maybe one other guy.
Okay.
But I believe that he does a lot of the programming synth stuff. More acoustic guitar. I wasn't necessarily expecting that.
No.
Oh, I love the castanets. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I love the synths.
Yeah, me too.
Guitar solo. Very cool.
Yeah, that was is that your favorite one so far with the acoustics in there?
No, I still did enjoy the other one better. Yeah, I'm not actually a big fan of strummed acoustic guitars. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this before.
Interesting.
But like strummed acoustic guitars, like a dude standing strumming and a guitar singing, which is like one of the most common forms of music that there is on the planet.
It's like the most basic form of just playing a guitar.
And I hate it. I can't stand it. And actually, it's actually really funny, but I really did not listen to music with strummed, like full strummed chords very much when I was when I started listening to music myself. Something like that would have really turned me off. And then there are certain bands over the years that I've found that did it really well, that really I grew to appreciate it a lot more. And then, of course, going to college and recording kids playing the guitar and all this stuff. And sometimes in some of my music using sort of strummed stuff, but not very often. And for people who are new here, I don't make music very often at all or anything like that. And it's all terrible garbage. But you know, when you do things like that, you learn more about them and what, you know, but, So the acoustic guitars for me were a bit of a turnoff on that song, but it's interesting to point it out because when a song like that, they have to play the acoustic guitar on stage for that song, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
So like that means when you're using acoustic guitars at a rock show, because I'm assuming they still play Miss Murder and stuff, right? Yeah. So like the production for this show has to be like crazy. But so enough about the acoustic guitars. I that was still a great song though. The drums were a little different. I liked him. And then it was catchy again, dry, but still a lot of reverb. His voice it's a little hard to hear him at times. I don't really feel like the volume of his voice is too low, but he's singing really softly. You know, and like when he's singing down, that kind of stuff just doesn't carry that much. Yeah. And the way they recorded it with the reverb and everything on it, and then with this like slamming acoustic guitar that was just strumming the entire time really hard. You know, it's kind of hard to fit something that's being performed kind of quietly behind that. But I mean, you've got to have ways of doing it. And I will say, I do think that it sounds really good for what they're doing and what they're going for. You know, they're using the production of the album, like the way that the song sounds in terms of the reverb and the placement of the instruments, and then just how the effects they're using on things. They're using the style of the production to give the music its like overall feel, you know, because they probably recorded that acoustic guitar dry. You know,
sure.
And there were multiple takes of it too, so it was like strummed left and right. But they probably recorded it all dry, and then after the fact, they used the production techniques and that kind of stuff to give the album its overall vibe. And that's what we talk about a lot of the times here on the channel when we're talking about. Chris Schoenberg talks about when he says production, that's what he means, is like an album where the production of the album is like a stylistic choice and panning and stuff. Whereas when I just generally say production in general, what I'm talking about is the whole entire package, the recording, the editing, the mixing. So it's not just the way the album sounds, but like the whole package of the production of the album as well.
Yeah.
But that is something interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot because, again, during our Halloween video, we were whenever Chris Schoenberg and I are in a video together, I feel like we kind of like we talk about the same thing from different places so much that it feels like we're having an argument, even though we really aren't. But
sure.
But that's how we've been talking for 20 years now. So, okay. Sorry for nobody that understands any of those references, but that's, you should subscribe to this channel and follow us, and you'll learn all about us.
Yeah, your viewers are probably like, these guys hate each other.
They might. Well, a lot of it depends what it is for. Generally, when Chris is here, we're listening to metal, and in that case, the people all side with him more than me because they're all old school metal guys like him. So I don't think we could get Chris to listen to something like this. Although I think he would find the production side of it interesting, though, for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, Spear of Truth. This is a much longer one than we've had. Well, I guess not much. Track 2 is almost 4 minutes, but this is a longer song. So we'll see if there's a bit more space in the song and it doesn't feel as rushed as that last song kind of felt to me. Okay. This is Spear of Truth in 3, 2, 1.
It's like the stick of truth.
Stick of Destiny. Truth? That's a Tenacious D thing?
South Park? Destiny. South Park Stick of Truth, yeah.
Okay, I was getting Pick of Destiny and Stick of Truth mixed up.
Yeah.
The Fractured But Whole.
That's a good one.
That's... See, there's a comma. Fractured, but
that's
whole.
Right.
Ooh.
It's bells.
It's got that Old West vibe again.
Yeah.
I love the bells.
Black sun, frozen sun, dark world, cold world, no boys, no girls.
Vocals really low.
Dead sun, frozen world.
This album, he's either got his Joy Division voice or his Bowie voice.
Okay.
And I like them both.
Point it out to me when he's doing his Joy Division voice.
Okay. So is this just a regular drum kit, just with extra effects applied?
It sounds like real drums to me.
I almost expect him to be like banging on one of those giant drums, you know?
No, I think it's just...
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a lot of reverb.
Now, they may have extra auxiliary percussion stuff in there, because they've got the castanets, and there are other things you're hearing.
Okay.
And they probably don't do that stuff live, or the bells. But they probably have a keyboard. I'm sure they have a keyboard player. There's trumpets in this. Brass.
Is that what those are?
Yeah. Or trombones of something.
whistling. So yep, it's more Western stuff.
Very Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
This world is stark out. This world is sick. I'm unwell.
That might be an electric or an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar in there. That like lead thing that was very cool, very dry. It fit very nicely in there. The acoustic guitar almost sounds like a 12-string guitar. It's very loose sounding.
Okay.
So it might be a 12-string. The vocals are too low across the board in volume.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially when they're going so epic with them, with that chorus behind them or whatever.
Yeah, and they're like hammering on those things. Like they're playing them really hard. Or they were. I love the call and response.
Some guy in a hill way away.
Very far away. So interesting and weird.
Right.
You know, because Old West sounding music is like the farthest thing from new wave sounding music to me.
Yeah,
you know,
it is for sure.
But that doesn't feel out of place with what the 3 songs we just heard. You know,
yeah, it fits right in.
Now, okay, was that track 5? That was track 5. So the first track and the 5th track were like that.
Okay.
Now I'm wondering if the final track is going to be like that, and then it's in between stuff.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just have to say the final track, Nooneunderground. Mm-hmm. That's like Decemberunderground, all one, like Decemberunderground or whatever.
I don't know what Decemberunderground is.
That's the name of their album with the 3.
Oh, okay.
The 3 things. It was Decemberunderground.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. Hold on. Now you're making me second guess myself. Yes, it's Decemberunderground. Decemberunderground, all one word.
All one word.
All one word. And so the fact that that's
Nooneunderground.
Which, by the way, Nooneunderground is actually really awesome. But the fact that it's all one word like that, it's definitely a callback to Decemberunderground.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wonder if they've even done that on other albums. I think that'd be really cool if they did. So, okay, we can move on.
All right.
This is Ash Speck in a Green Eye, which is interesting.
That's hard to say.
Ash Speck in a Green Eye? Ash Speck? Who knows? All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. Well, this one has quite a few more plays too. So
yes, and those are electronic drums.
Yeah.
The bass has that like chorusing effect on it that's also very common in new wave music. It's a little bit more background. We should have listened to this before Halloween. This would have been a good Halloween.
Yeah.
That guitar on the left. That's so new wave guitar. Who's Jean Duval?
Was a French actress that died in 1868, so it must have been on a stage actress.
Okay. I guess that tracks around the same. That's Old West times.
was a prostitute and the longtime partner of Charles Baudelaire. Who has a huge Wikipedia page. I'm ashamed to admit I don't know who that
is. Was she famous for any reason, or?
I think being his woman.
Okay. Tambourine.
This is a catchy lyrics.
Yes. This might actually be my second favorite one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
When you were looking that up, that made me think of, and I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with anything, but you know that like I don't think I've watched any of them yet, but that guy that does those documentaries or those on Netflix about serial killers, they're not documentaries. I think they're like, they just did like an Ed Gein one or something, I think. Okay. But it's like a very famous series of like where they get actors who are big actors to play these like serial killers. Okay. A new one just came out a little while ago, around Halloween time. But the reason I bring it up is because, and you made me think of it by looking up that lady. They announced that the new person they're going to be doing the next one about is Lizzie Borden, which I love Lizzie Borden. I think it's awesome. And the Christina Ricci Lizzie Borden movie and TV show is like awesome. So cool. And I really enjoy like Lizzie Borden's story. So that would be really cool. But sorry, that has nothing to do with anything. But yeah, I don't know. The electronic drums in that one, I liked. That guitar off to the left, like I said, it was very consistent. It was just down, or whatever the melody was.
Yeah.
That was very new wave. Like there's a lot of things that I'm hearing that make me feel nostalgic almost, like to music that I really am unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting feeling, you know? And we've talked about before here on the channel, I always say that when you hear music that seems familiar to you, even though you've never heard it before, that's a sign of good writing, good songwriting.
Sure. Yeah.
And so to me, I'm getting the same vibe from this, but it's kind of strange because the whole package is not necessarily something that I'm enjoying that much. Like all the reverb and stuff, like I think it could sound way better. And his vocals have been low the entire time, like throughout, I would say. And it's been kind of hard to pick them out of the song sometimes. And there's just so much reverb flying around the songs that it's kind of hard to reach through it and pick out stuff. The drums and the guitars and the bass have been a little bit, like since that first track, they've definitely been better. That first track was like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's been more poppy, I guess, more straightforward, like I wanted them to be the whole time. But it is still kind of hard to pull the vocals out of the song a little bit. And so like the package that they're wrapping this all up in production-wise is not necessarily for me, but it's such a cool, fun thing that they're doing that like I really enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So like I don't know if I would go back and listen to this album many times more, like after we're done with this, but I'm really happy that they did it, and I'm happy. Like I'm enjoying it a lot. It's just not really maybe my thing exactly. So
I would probably listen to this album again.
Yeah, the good. I'm glad. I was really hoping that you would like it.
Yeah,
you know, because it's hard to sometimes ask one of you guys to do a reaction to something with me that if it's like you have no reference
I was not
for
expecting
it whatsoever. So
and I mean I've heard of AFI. I was not expecting something that I would like.
yeah.
But that's why you give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And I trust you, so
right. And I would I try not to ask you to do stuff unless beforehand I'm like, this is not really a thing for you, but there's like a reason for us to do it.
Yeah.
And everything's better than Chris Squire and Yes. So you know we know we've already listened to the worst of the worst.
Say no to Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
How did we miss that?
If we had merch on this channel, say no to Yes would 1,000,000,000% be a t-shirt. It wouldn't even have to be flashy, just black or white with black letters, say no to Yes. I mean, I'm sure there's already like a thing of that has to already be a thing that exists, but probably, man, that's awesome. Did you ever watch the intro video of our last Yes video, by the way?
No.
When I included, I put in all the pictures of Taylor Swift and stuff into it.
No.
Oh yeah, you'll have to go back and watch it. It's really entertaining and great.
I will do that.
Okay, now we're on to track 7. All capital letters, so you know they're serious here. Voidward, I bend back. Voidward, I bend back.
Okay.
No idea. Now, it's only 2:28, so this could be something vastly different than we've heard. I have no idea. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. That flanging chorus effect on the bass.
Voidward I walk. Voidward I crawl.
So this voice is kind of the Ian Curtis, Joy Division.
Okay.
What I think of.
Okay.
Voidward I fall. Voidward bending.
See, to me, this sounds like AFI. This sounds like Miss Murder, the way he's saying in that song.
The sun's wing burns like fire of a ghost. Agitated bending.
I wonder if the other guys in the band were all like, yeah, let's make a new wave album. You know, like, is this something that he had to drag them along with? Or is it all of them together being like, yeah, dude, let's do it?
Yeah, and maybe people in the comments should tell us what they're out like. Did they work up to this and they just, this is, or is this like a shock?
Yeah, did this come out of nowhere?
My staring at it black, like foreign film, flickering with your tongues.
Bass tambourine. Interesting. Interesting that it was so short. I don't really think that felt too short. I mean, it was kind of the same thing the whole time.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. How many choruses and verses and stuff did it have? I don't know.
Well, I feel like it was just kind of one part that they repeated 3 times, and it kind of built each time, and they added that tambourine there, the last third of the song. But it didn't really deviate once it started from what it was doing the entire time, so it didn't really need to be longer than that, I guess. I feel
that's true. It didn't overstay its welcome, but it could have if it was 3 minutes long.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like of everything we've heard so far on this album, that sounded the most like I would expect him to sound.
Okay.
That was way more, hey, Miss Murder, can I? You know, that was way more that style of vocal. Okay. And I feel like he committed to that style almost the entire song there. There was a bit where they were doing kind of like a spoken part, I think.
Yeah.
But that was different. But yeah.
Yeah, that one doesn't stand out to me too much.
I agree. I agree completely. So let's move on.
Okay.
To Marguerite. And we'll see if this one stands out to us, I guess. All right, this is Marguerite in 3, 2, 1. Wow, same thing.
They could have almost just transitioned that last one into this one.
Yeah. The bass does not have the flanger on it anymore. Now it's just straight bass.
Okay.
This is like early Depeche Mode.
Yeah. It's surprising that it took us that long to mention Depeche Mode.
Well, I mentioned them several times, but I don't. To me, it doesn't sound very Depeche Mode-y. Okay. This is the first time I've gotten that.
Yeah. I would have said it does, but when you're more familiar with the band, it's hard to compare other bands to that band.
That's true, I guess. I mean, Depeche Mode has never used real bass in any of their music, which to me is sort of a don't come at me. There are a few songs where they use bass, but like for the most part, that is not their sound. Okay. But like the core of what we're hearing here is not what Depeche Mode would do.
Okay.
It's this vocal part there that reminds me of Depeche Mode. They're like,
yeah. Sure.
This is reminding me a lot of a band that I really love that I would love to show you someday called She Wants Revenge. And I know the entire existence of their band is to basically be just like Joy Division, but like he sings very much like Joy Division.
Interesting.
From what I understand, Joy Division sounds like.
Okay.
But I don't think that you would like She Likes Revenge like this, though.
Okay.
His harmony vocals are interesting. But that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Little acoustic harmony guitar part in there over the solo. I mean, does this remind you more of like Devo and Talking Heads type stuff? To me,
I've never really thought of them as crossing over with that gothic new wave genre.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's more in the way he's singing in this one. Like, his voice felt less controlled, you know? It was, to me, when it was just that sort of like shouty, like, I don't even really care what pitch I'm on type of, like, type of thing.
And that's, Devo kind of has almost like punk vocals sung over more traditional.
That is true. They did kind of shout a lot. Well, of the little bit that I know.
Very like halting and stilted and
Yeah, and like a lot of stuff from the 80s was that like the like uncontrolled, really singing out type of thing that men don't really sing, like male vocalists don't really sing that way very much anymore at all, like really projecting. I remember the first time I hated that he told me this, and this guy, if you knew the guy that I told this, but I was like, when I showed one of my friends, whatever, I'm not going to go into this guy, but I showed him, he's the type of person, one of the things about him is that he's the type of person that you just want to like, you want him to like his opinion for some reason, even though there's no validation to it whatsoever. Like, you want him to enjoy the things that you like. You wanted to give him to give validation to you. And so, but most of the things that I ever showed this guy, he would just poo-poo on, you know? And so it became this thing of like, can I find something that this guy likes? And then over the years, we grew a little closer and stuff. He's been my friend since college. So it's not Chris Schoenberg, but someone that went to school with me and Chris.
I was waiting for the reveal.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Chris Schoenberg. No, me and Chris, we clicked in a really weird way right away when we were in college. Worked really well together, even though we're like the complete opposite people.
Yeah.
But no, this is someone else that was in our class, and I'm still friends with this person. I actually just talked to him yesterday. Okay. But I've talked about him here on the channel before. His name's Graham. It doesn't matter, but Graham. But I showed him Depeche Mode once, and his first comment was, I wasn't expecting him to just sound like a choir boy. Which, when you listen to Depeche Mode and then you listen to Martin Gore singing, and it's like, you could see a person singing in church just like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it took me a while to get over that and be like, I don't care that that's what he sounds like. But this Graham is just like that. Like, he says the exact right thing to ruin stuff for you, which I hate. But there's kind of a thing to that. You know, you and I think have talked about this kind of in the past when we've talked about different things, but the 80s were just such a different style of music. It just was so different. And when I think of 80s music, I think of like synth pop stuff and new wavy type of stuff like Duran Duran and like I said, Flock of Seagulls and then even the pop stuff like Cyndi Lauper and stuff. But then you think about Cyndi Lauper, right? And her voice. Totally uncontrolled, crazy, like not perfect pitch at all. Yeah. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect pitch at all.
I think it's the punk influence on.
Do you think
stuff
so?
That started in, you know, it started around the same time as new wave, the late 70s stuff.
Yeah. Like, I think you're probably right. Yeah.
And I don't really know how to say that.
Did some of those bands like start off maybe in bands like that and then they grew more poppy?
Well, if you listen to like early Devo stuff, it doesn't sound like Whip It, you know, it sounds more like a punk band.
Sure.
And there were a lot of punk bands that evolved into more traditional bands. The Go-Go's were a punk band.
Okay.
When they started.
Interesting.
And like a girl punk group.
Right.
But yeah, they transitioned and they sing beautifully, but like it's still kind of that they're very like freewheeling, you know. It's
I think Blondie was the same thing, right? Because didn't Blondie I think their earlier stuff was more punky.
I'm not sure about early Blondie.
I could be totally wrong, but
you could be right though.
but like you wouldn't have to try very hard to convince me that like some of the dudes in like Duran Duran or Flock of Seagulls or any of these bands we've been mentioning that they were in like a punk band when they were in high school or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then they evolved into more pop style music, but like. It's really interesting, and we've talked about that before, just about how just the approach to vocals were so different in the 80s, and like he's doing that here. He's perfectly encapsulating that sort of like uncontrolled, like almost someone that doesn't necessarily know how or care if they're singing correctly at all. Does that make sense? But he is singing correctly, obviously, and you can and that's can be proved by the fact that we can sing along with him to the songs, right? You can't sing along to someone singing incorrectly. That doesn't make any sense. And so he's singing the right notes and everything. It's just the approach and the stylistic choice, I guess. It's so interesting to me.
Like uncontrolled.
Yeah, it does.
It's exactly what he intended, and it's on pitch and it's on key and it's like everything, but it just sounds like he's like just going mad singing Marguerite.
Yeah, and there's just a lot more projection that I feel like a lot of male vocalists don't do nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the like really projecting is just not something that's done as much anymore.
Maybe that's why I don't care for almost all modern male vocals. Like in popular music. This is great, but these vocals are straight out of the 80s.
Well, and I feel like nowadays, if you're projecting as a male singer, you're getting raspy and you're getting more into like a yelly shout type thing. Yeah. Whereas
I don't care for that.
This is like, you could be in church singing like, hallelujah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And he's just doing that with like, Julianne, you know? And so like it's really interesting. It's such a fun thing to think about.
Yeah, I think it's very authentic to that time.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job with that.
Maybe not so much the instrumentation, but the vocals could have been ripped straight out of half the Bowie songs and half Joy Division and half something else.
Yeah, and I do really these last two songs were basically the exact same drum beat the entire time. Song started same, right, and I think both of them were electronic drums as well, which I like the way they approached the drums more the first half of the album on the first couple songs that we enjoyed. So that's a little interesting that they had those two songs back to back. Kind of interesting without something different in between. And we'll see what this next one is, but that was interesting. But they're also doing things in the music, Cody, that I do think really harkens back to that time. Like the flangey chorus effect on the bass, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't even know how to explain it. But if I showed you the effect, you would be like, oh, yeah. Duh.
Okay.
And when I say that, hopefully some people at least know what I'm talking about. That is such a new wave thing, such a new wave thing. And even just an 80s thing in general, like not just new wave music, but like the flange or chorus effect on the bass guitar was all over the 80s. And they did that in the previous song, but not in this one. I commented at the beginning of this one that the bass guitar was more of a clean sounding bass sound. And I enjoyed that the way it was done in both songs, but it was that was one of the things that really differentiated the two songs from one another. So, and then the guitar was way more prominent in the Voidward I Bend Back song rather than the Marguerite one. So, okay, now we're to track 9, the penultimate track and the longest, another long one, not the longest track, but another long one, A World Unmade. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. I want something a little different now.
Yeah.
That sounds like church organ with a lot of effect on it.
Yeah, very fuzzy.
Or kind of an organ-y. Like bit crushed.
Whoa.
Love the drums. Does this one have more plays? It does not. Huh. I think they're playing chords on the bass there. That's how they're getting that sound. In the middle. It could also be a synth bass. It sounds so familiar to me, like some famous song has done that. Or multiple.
Yeah, it does sound very familiar.
Someone mentioned in our comments that I need to check out The Cure.
Yeah, I saw that. That would be fun. I like when I hear The Cure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was on Discord, actually. Yep. Everyone should check out our Discord. Whoa,
I'm trying
what
to
was
focus on the song because I keep thinking of that bass and I was like, where's that from? And then I just get stuck thinking about that the whole time.
I know.
Whoa, I phase shift there.
Interesting.
Dang, I thought we were going to get through with no fade outs.
Yeah. Okay, well, without going into it, we don't abide by fade outs here on this channel. We don't like fade outs. In fact, we have this board made, and I just have lost my chalk for the last year. One fade out. Imagine a chalk line there. But we don't do fade outs here. They're lazy and bad songwriting every time. That was the best sounding song minus the vocals.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah,
that bass.
Yeah, the bass was cool. I think it was a bass guitar playing chords, and he was just like plucking the chords, which is not something you do very often on a bass. Maybe Chris Squire does it every now and then in some Yes songs, but like with the flangey effect that was on it, and then just the plucking of the chord on the bass, it did create a really interesting and unique sound that I have definitely heard before in something that I know really well.
I can't think of it.
And I'm sure it's been used in many things. Bass players are all probably going, "Oh, I do that all the time." But that particular way they were doing it in this song with the effects and the reverb and everything that was on it, it felt very familiar. The low voice he was using there, it felt like they had it a little bit drier, especially at the beginning of the song, and it was brought up in volume a little bit. I feel like it was easier to hear what he was saying a little bit more in this song when he was using that low voice, because I feel like you can pretty easily tell what he's saying when he's projecting and singing, you know. But when he's doing that kind of like low Gothic-y type of thing, it's hard, way harder to pick him out of the music, and it felt like they were trying harder to make him more easily understood. In that one. And the drums were awesome. The second those drums kicked in at the 50-second mark or whatever, the intro of that was totally useless. And I think should have been attached to the previous song. You know, the intro,
I could see that.
The intro had nothing to do with the song.
It was kind of tough that we paused between them, but
I feel like it should have been attached to the end of that one. Yeah. And then this song the track should have started at when the drums kicked in. But you know, whatever. That probably had some meaning to the song. So,
sure.
As a penultimate track, that's interesting. If that would have been the last track, I would have been like, "Oh, this is an interesting last track."
Yeah.
And then it faded out, so I'd have been like, "Okay, well, I guess they want the album to exist in infinity as it fades out." But So now I'm really curious what the final track is going to be.
Right,
so maybe just an instrumental or something. I don't know. All right, so this is track 10, the final song, Nooneunderground.
Nooneunderground.
An
extra.
Nooneunderground. Oh, you're right. Well, then we should copyright Nooneunderground with a W. Nooneunderground.
Sure.
That could be our name of our new age band. Our new wave band, not new age. No. We can Enya. We'll be like Enya. Nooneunderground. Okay, track 10. Nooneunderground. In 3, 2, 1.
All right. Fades in after the fade out.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got your orb.
Got my moon.
He's pondering his orb.
Yeah, we can... Oh, I hit the off button, sorry. Oh. I wish I could spin it like a basketball.
What was the movie with David Bowie where he did the
Labyrinth? I don't know.
Labyrinth, yeah, where he did like the ball juggling thing.
I literally have no idea. I've never seen Labyrinth.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. There's no one in your heart. When I hear stuff like this, I want to make music like this. Just to try it. The problem is I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it is fun to make stuff that you don't care for as much, because then you get so much more of an appreciation for it. Ooh, cool. How it went down in pitch, that was very cool.
Yeah. God, these vocals are reminding me of something too, and I just can't think of it.
Huh.
wonder if that's Roxy Music I'm thinking of, maybe. They like this effect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we listened to their early funk stuff, because this is like...
Yeah, clearly a reference to that.
Yeah, but also it has like an 80s new wave throwbacks to it.
It very much does, yeah.
It's cool.
Yes. Huh.
It was fun. Maybe kind of weird for a final song, but it would have been weird in the middle of the album too. So.
That's true. It would have sounded really weird anywhere else. So
maybe maybe that's why they faded out that last one. They kind of let you chew on the album, and then it's like, hey, here's in your face punk music.
Yeah, I guess. Well, no, that was the track before this. Marguerite faded out, because then you were like, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the last one did.
Yeah, you're right. Because this one was the one where you're like, oh, and they're fading this one in. So
yeah.
But then it just kind of really didn't. But then yeah. I don't know. I actually like the music in that. I think they were doing some really interesting things there that
me too.
I didn't really even catch. And then over the top of it, he was doing the more sort of punky thing, which is just kind of where I don't care for it as much, But I don't regret that song being on the album. I don't think it would make me like it any less. I think... Okay, so let's get into the album overall. For me, I don't know if this album's necessarily for me. I think there were elements of things on here that I really enjoyed talking about and listening to, but I would not like recreationally put this on to listen to it and just enjoy it. Yeah. There's way too much reverb. His vocals are way too low. Although I almost hesitate to say that they're too low, because it seems like they just belong where they were. Like it's almost maybe part of the throwback aspect of it. Like it makes sense that his vocals are kind of hidden in the music. So I don't know, but
yeah, I usually prefer vocals to be front and center, right?
Yeah,
in your face, even in older stuff, newer stuff, whatever. So, but it didn't seem like so. It wasn't distracting to me.
Yeah,
like it wasn't so low,
Well, and because there was so much reverb and effects on it, like you can't really have something upfront feeling when it's got so much effects on it.
That's true.
And so maybe that's kind of where I'm coming at it with the like throwback production sort of way they were approaching it, because it does kind of seem like they were doing everything that they were doing on this album, they did intentionally.
Yeah.
To sound a specific way. And so I would say even the volume of the vocals, because it really did, you could really pretty clearly hear him when he was projecting more and doing the type of thing.
Yeah.
And so that's an intentional choice. Or maybe, who knows, maybe this was all recorded to tape or something like that, and they were, or to cassette tape, and they were trying to capture some sort of like use the studio as an instrument to try to attain the throwback sound. I would probably doubt it, but I don't know. I thought the drums were maybe my favorite thing across the whole album. The drums and the bass were really nice, and they were definitely doing what they were trying to do perfectly the entire time. I think his vocals were also doing what they were trying to doing, and that was the part of it that I didn't care for as much. But again though, I had a lot of fun talking about it, and we referenced a lot of things that I even barely understand at all, but I feel like I understand it enough to know that that's what they were aiming for, and I think they did a good job with all of that. So to me, when we were talking earlier about the production of the album and the style of the mix of the songs, the way the way everything sounds, being intentional to feel like a specific time, I think they nailed that to perfection. But now whether or not it's a perfect mix, I wouldn't say so, but because they're trying to do something so specific, they definitely nailed what they were going for. It might just not necessarily be for me.
They didn't fail to produce what they wanted.
Yeah.
They produced something that maybe is just not your thing.
Yeah, which is totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I like it quite a bit. So I'll be listening to this again.
Yeah.
For sure.
Would you include this in your top 12 albums of the year?
I don't do that.
Yeah, I know you only listen to 6 albums a year.
Because I can't think of 12 albums this year that I like.
Yeah. Taylor Swift.
Yeah, right, I guess.
More Taylor Swift. I don't even know, if you've listened to any full albums from this year, other than, did we listen to anything
just
together?
Just the ones that we listened to.
What did we listen together to that came out this year?
I don't
See, that's all. Once I get to November, my brain, there's a switch in my brain that's like, all I care about is what came out this year. And that's why these reactions, I'm going to be filming a bunch more too that are like really quick. And I just, because I feel so pressured to get through stuff. And there's a certain album that I've been saving for over half the year. It came out while I was in the hospital.
Okay.
After my transplant. And the Mook, the band I talk about all the time, like one of my top 2 favorite bands. They came out with a new album this year, and I have not listened to it yet. And I'm just depriving myself of what I think is probably going to be my number 1 album of the year.
Yeah.
Because I'm just scared to listen to it and have it be bad. But I can't wait anymore. And so now I've got to do my Mook reaction. And the OG fans on this channel, from when I very first started doing reactions, they were Mook fans. I did a Mook video as one of my first videos, and so like there was like 2 or 3 people who like really loved that, and every time I would do a Mook video over the ensuing years, they show back up, and I'm really hoping they're still around. But so anyway, that all I think about is that kind of stuff. So like to me, this album by AFI definitely not on the list for this year.
Yeah.
For all the reasons I said. But I enjoyed it, and I thought that it was definitely worth a reaction.
I thought it was great, and I feel like we need to dig into this genre.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I don't know if you start with Joy Division because they're, late 70s, like that's a lot of stuff came after that. Mm-hmm. And if people have suggestions, like The Cure is kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like that's kind of a missing link for you to what becomes like Depeche Mode and what becomes all these like later 80s bands that you think are so great.
Yes.
And,
definitely that's what I was going to say. Let us know in the comments.
Yes.
Bands that we should check out based on the kind of things that we were saying here. And yes, we need to do Joy Division. I've been saying it for years now. We need to do Joy Division, and we just need to do it. It'll be a fun one to do.
Maybe we go down that road instead of the prog rock road.
Well, we'll see. I still, I want to do Rush. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. We'll see. Because I also want to, next year, one of the things I want to do is I want to have you and Chris Parker, and I want to go through like 3 or 4 Depeche Mode albums.
Okay.
Because I think those videos maybe would get some views, and I think that if we can find a little group of people that like those videos, then that crowd would probably follow us to Joy Division and this kind of stuff. So definitely let us know artists we should check out. But for me specifically, I want bands that released decent albums. I don't want a band that had a huge number 1 hit single that was like a one-hit wonder.
Oh yeah.
I want a band that produced an album that you guys think is pretty interesting. And good.
And The Cure had they had tons of hits and they were around for a long time, but I don't know if they're known for their albums or not.
Yeah,
so
I literally know nothing about The Cure. I don't know how I missed them, but like people talk to me about The Cure and I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And I have one Cure album and I've tried listening to it and I thought it sounded like garbage. It was terrible. It was like the one with like, there's like a guy with lipstick or something on the front. Huh. And it's like, there's like 25 songs on it or something. That's like the only Cure album I have.
Their first album is 99. I recognize their album cover from 82 called Pornography. I don't recognize any of these other album covers, so I don't know that they're really known for having all-time classic
famous albums.
But that doesn't mean they're bad. I don't know.
Let me look and see. What are their hits? Like, what are their most played songs? Boys Don't Cry, with almost 1 billion plays. Friday I'm in Love, 1 billion plays. Just Like Heaven, Love Song, Close to Me. Okay, Just so Like let me try. Okay, so not Disintegration. Let me find the album of theirs that I have. And people can, when I say this, now you guys will be like, oh, well, if he doesn't like that, then make sure you stay away from maybe this band or this band. And also, I don't want any band that use... Oh, but by the way, I don't know if this is the same kind of thing. I don't really think of it that way, but I am a big fan of Gary Newman and his 80s stuff and his earlier and his newer stuff especially too, but...
you might have Blood Flowers from 2000?
No, I'll find it. It's
okay.
It's an older album of theirs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, they have a lot.
Which they put out an album last year too.
I do have a copy of Mixed Up, their remix album that they released in 1990.
Oh, okay.
It could be just. It could. I know it's. Oh, it's Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
That one has Just Like Heaven on it, which I like.
A billion songs. Yeah, Just Like Heaven is on there. I remember trying to listen to it and being like, "This is not for me."
Boy, it's now maybe 74 minutes. That's a double album, huh?
Well, the version they have on here is the remastered version. It's got a bunch of bonus stuff.
It was originally a 2-disc thing.
Oh, okay. It may have been. Yeah, I have the CD of it. It all fits on one CD.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it may be, well, looking at just the star ratings down on Wikipedia, which are usually pretty harsh, there's a lot of 4 and 5 stars on there. So
it looks like their very first album was 1979, and there's that huge song with almost 1 billion plays, "Boys Don't Cry," that came from that.
Huh. I don't know why I can't think of what that sounds like.
I have no idea.
Huh.
Actually, you know what?
They're in a cave.
It might have been a single. It might have been a single they released in between. Because it might have been a single they released in between.
Love Song. Love Song is the one that I don't know. Oh, okay, that is on there. You probably know that one, but
is it Love Song for the Dearly Departed or whatever?
No, it's just Love Song.
I may have heard another band cover some of their songs, and I didn't know that it was a cover. I would not be surprised if that happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, so The Cure is definitely something I'm interested in. Let us know if, like, Sisters of Mercy, that's another band that I am familiar with, but I've never listened to their albums. And they have an original album series. Like, you don't know anything about Sisters of Mercy, Cody?
Nope.
Their singer, I believe they released 3 albums, and then their singer died.
Okay.
And then they maybe post-mortem released an album of theirs or something with maybe no vocals or something. I can't remember the exact story of it, but their 3 albums, I believe, are pretty revered in the goth culture. And
85, 87, and 90.
And I'm really curious to learn more about them, so I would definitely be willing to do a Sisters of Mercy reaction. But maybe I would hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I would be interested in them too.
I've heard I think 1 or 2 of their songs from the 90 album, and I think I really enjoyed what they were doing, but I think earlier on they might have been worse production. I'm not sure.
All right.
So thank you, everybody, for watching this. And we, like I said, leave all that stuff in the comments, and we will see you all, I guess, next time. Thank you so much. Hello? Me? Yeah, are you coming down to get something, or?
Yeah, you.
Why, what's up?
Well, you get the game on the tablet, but we can't get it on the TV.
Oh, you'd have to...
You can't do it.
Well, I could maybe do it on my phone, but I need...
I said you'd have to find out. She had it on the tablet, but it went bad.
Well, I could do it on my...
There?
Yeah, Cody's
Hi,
here.
Cody.
Hi.
He says hello.
He can't hear me.
Oh, here, he can't see you either. Come look at his glasses.
Oh, yeah.
I had my glasses on. I just took them off.
Yeah. What game are you talking about?
Newman's.
Oh, I don't
Hey,
care.
hi, Four Eyes.
Hey,
I
know.
You look good. You can't see me. There I am.
I see ya.
The first play, Fouillon ran 68 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, good. So they're ahead.
Newman kicked off, and the guy ran it back 80 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, crap.
Second and 19.
Okay, we'll see if I can...
I formation, double tight set for
But if you get it to the TV, you'd have to have it on your phone, huh?
Well, and I'm just thinking, if I stream this to the TV, that's using quite a bit of internet, and I'm streaming Cody to our thing right now.
Okay, well, if you can do it, that's fine.
Well, I can try. It should be on the TV now, but it might be either you or Mom is going to have to come shout down and see if it looks good. Because it might be vertical on the TV, so it might only be like this big on the TV, which wouldn't be gaining you very much.
But can you, if you shut it off here, you'll
have to take my phone with you.
Oh, you have to use it. Just keep it.
Well,
I'll go back to the tablet. I'll go back. Bye, Cody.
Hello, bye.
I'll leave it on over here, and people can watch it out of the corner of their eye. Here, I'll leave it like this.
Oh, there you go. Maybe pirate the game.
Oh, that's true. That would be illegal. Newman would sue me,
Newman
and
lawyers.
we'd have to shut our channel down from stupid Newman.
Newman.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours later.
Oh, did it stop working?
Just shut it off. It's buffering. Just shut it off.
Yeah, I see it is doing that. I don't know why it's doing that.
Well, it's been doing it for us too, so just shut it off. Thank you.
Okay. It was on 540p. I could pick 1080p. Huddle is actually pretty awesome. It's just...
They use that for like local sports then? I've never used Huddle.
Oh, yeah. It's the... It's all high schools. It was a thing that started during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
But like all high school events are broadcast, and like even some band stuff and everything
Cool.
is all broadcast through Huddle. During COVID, all the schools started broadcasting stuff themselves on like YouTube, and I preferred that. But now it's just all on Huddle. Like the Huddle, it's run out of Lincoln. Like Huddle's a huge company. I'm sure you have heard of Huddle.
Oh, it's like a local company.
No, it's like a Lincoln-based company, but it's like a worldwide company. But like it's based in Lincoln, I believe. But like a lot of people that I know work there. Like,
okay.
I could probably go work there, and actually, I probably should do that. I'd probably I would make a lot more money than the none that I make now. But
so wait, does Huddle actually go to the games and do production there?
No, you just stream it. I don't think so.
They're just a software company.
They give all the schools the technology, and then they broadcast it. The school broadcasts it themselves from the school to Huddle, and then Huddle, you go to the Huddle website, and then every high school in the state has their own Huddle account. Okay. And then you broadcast it through there. And so like
yeah, that was a great idea for that company.
And they have these cameras that follow the game automatically and stuff. Like
really?
No one runs it. Yeah, it's all it's all run. They do it for Neely's games and stuff too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. So sorry, I'll probably cut this conversation out and put it at the end, but this is still an interesting conversation.